by Dadi Janki. And I will start with reading the Dadi's words on faith in others. If there is a need to take responsibility for something, then of course you should. However, if a situation is not your business or someone else is in charge, then don't get caught up in it. If you want to help, you can still involve yourself in a more subtle way through faith. Faith in others does a lot of work. It doesn't mean blind faith, observing helplessly while keeping your fingers crossed. It means to remain alert to what's going on, and then to fill another with the strength of your faith to such an extent that they feel able to do whatever needs to be done. This means having faith, but also donating the power of your faith. If the other person is honest and truthful, your faith will work for them. In this way, we can learn to truly help each other. So, because the topic is on faith today, what really does faith mean? And for me, it means to have total trust, unquestioning confidence, without any kind of doubt. And faith is very much based on understanding and realization. So there's two paragraphs. I just want to repeat the first paragraph and then I'll discuss it and then I'll go on to the next one. So the very first paragraph, what I liked from what Dadi had said is, if a situation is not your business or someone else is in charge, then don't get caught up in it. If you want to help, you can still involve yourself in a more subtle way through faith. So when you see something happening around you, look closely and see what really is happening. Observe first. Be very selective of where you help out and where you don't. There's no need to get involved, to always get involved in it. You can see that others are doing it. It might not be the way you would like it to be, but not to interfere and let them do it in their own way. Understand that they have their own style and know that your way is not always the best. Different people see things differently. Sometimes it's also based on their previous experiences. How they think is right for them. So it's fine. But at the same time, there are situations when we can sense that they are struggling with something. There is a struggle going on within them. And at that time, for me, it's really being able to be there for that person, but at the same time, not interfering too much. Just your presence is what will help. So create that vibration, that feeling, that faith which shows your support. I'll read the second paragraph. Faith in others does a lot of work. It doesn't mean blind faith. It means to remain alert to what's going on, and then to fill another with the strength of your faith to such an extent that you feel able to do whatever needs to be done. This means having faith, but also donating the power of your faith. That's a very important line, to have faith, but also donate the power of your faith. If the other person is honest and truthful, your faith will work for them. In this way, we can learn to truly help each other. So, how can I do that? What usually happens is that we tend to waste a lot of time on the negative aspects and keep on and on thinking about it, repeating it in the mind. This really doesn't help me at all, nor does it help the other person. What is actually required is a bit of upliftment, encouragement, inspiring them to be able to instill that in the other person, that yes, they can do something, they can help, they can make a difference. The faith that I have in others is a result of my vision on them. Sorry. By fixing my vision on the positivity and purity of others, I am able to help them to re-emerge those qualities. The more you focus on the good in someone, the more power you give them, and the sooner they will be able to change. Also, let others grow and be supportive when required. It's like a parent who knows how to nurture a child. When a child starts to walk, no matter how many times the child falls initially, the parent will keep on and on encouraging, because the parent knows that they will start to walk. But at this moment, to be patient, to encourage them every step of the way. And most importantly, you are doing it genuinely from your heart. There's such a deep commitment from within you. So this way, the other person feels that faith and support you are giving. In situations where I don't have a good relationship with somebody, things don't always work out, then what do I do? How do I create that faith? In a difficult situation or relationship, most of the interactions tend to be clashing with each other. And again, there's so much of waste thoughts that come up, or negative thinking that I have towards that person. And really, that does not help that person at all. Not only them, but it does not help me either. What kind of feelings or emotions am I creating in myself? It takes a lot out of me as well, in the sense I need to start looking at that relationship very differently. Because the minute I see that person, or someone talks about the person, you can go off into a lot of waste thinking. But let's just sit back for a moment and observe or think. Is there one particular quality of this person, one virtue of this person that I can admire? That's really amazing. Something that makes this person so special? What is their speciality? So the next time you have an interaction with that person, instead of thinking about all the negative, let the first thing you do is just to think, oh, but this person also has this beautiful quality. So remind yourself of it and work from that point of view. When you do that, your outlook towards that person is so different. Your feelings towards that person are different. And then your response will give that encouragement. You will give that positivity to that person to make sure that they have the courage, they're able to have whatever strength is needed to do whatever needs to be done. So it's about having faith that encourages the other. And on the other hand, you also donating the power with your faith, as Dadi had mentioned. Situations and people vary. For some people, just by your presence, being there, or just by a smile or a nod, or saying a few words of encouragement can make a big difference and can uplift them so much. They thrive from that and are able to move forward to such an extent. Then with others, it takes a long time. We need to be patient because they might not be ready to see things differently. They're still stuck and they cannot seem to get out of that situation. So it takes a long, long time. And that's okay as well. But from my side, I need to keep on giving that encouragement and continuously remind myself as well to keep my positive vision of them. Keep sending them good wishes all the time. And really, it'll help them in some way or the other. But never to say that this person cannot achieve a goal, cannot change. They will. I have to keep that faith within me. I have to not waver from that. And really, in all this, the personal gain is that you are getting an opportunity to do something good for another person. So why not take this opportunity? At least you increase the self-respect of another person by showing them their speciality. So isn't that so lovely? Maybe some of you might have heard of Thomas Edison and his story, but I would like to read an extract that I really liked and really shows so much of faith in Thomas Edison's mom. So I'll just read that now. Thomas Edison was an American inventor and businessman. One day, as a small child, Thomas Edison came home from school and gave a paper to his mother. He said to her, "Mom, my teacher gave this paper to me and told me only you are to read it. What does it say?" Her eyes welled with tears as she read the letter out loud to her child. "Your son is a genius. This school is too small for him and doesn't have good enough teachers to train him. Please train him yourself." And so many years after Edison's mom had died, he became one of the greatest inventors of the century. And one day he was going through a closet and he found the folded letter that his old teacher wrote his mother that day. He opened it. The message written on the letter was, "Your son is mentally deficient. We cannot let him attend our school anymore. He is expelled." Edison became emotional reading it and then wrote in his diary, Thomas Edison was a mentally deficient child whose mother turned him into the genius of the century. A positive word of encouragement can help change anyone's destiny. So, sorry. I'm sure that there are many other stories or experiences that have come your way. Let's learn from this, help others as much as we can, and build that faith in them so that you can make a difference. If nothing else, you tried, and that will make you feel good as well. So I thought that it would be very nice to try and practice or experiment this if you have a bit of time during the day, and to take time out and think of someone in your life that you feel will benefit from this. So instead of thinking about their shortcomings, find one virtue or one quality in them and focus on that. Remind yourself of that virtue a few times in the day. Then the next time you interact with that person, first remind yourself, oh yes, they have this particular quality. Even during your interaction every now and then, and remind yourself of that virtue. Practice that during the day so you begin to see that individual in a different light, in a different perspective. Your vision is changing, and try it and see how that works out for you. Thank you for listening. Om Shanti.